You are welcome back to the League of the Genuine, the very first episode for the brand new year 2023. As we promised, we shall continue our programming to fight counterfeits year after year after year. We are happy to have with us here my good friend who had gotten lost for a long time. We used to meet in football and all those places. Yes. Retired Assistant Inspector General of Police, yes. Mr. or Afande Hassan Kasinje. You are most welcome.
Thank you so much, Council. Thank you for having me on your show.
Thank you for making the time.
Yes.
At a very short notice. We plucked you out of your holiday to ask you to come and share with us on this important but often ignored subject of counterfeit. So many thanks for being here. How is the new year?
The new year is good. I can tell you that it's the mindset, because we sometimes think that when the year ends, every wrong thing that you did in that year stops, not knowing that can be a continuation of what you were doing. So seasons come and go, but if we have a wrong mindset, nothing much.
I was pleasantly surprised coming here to find that you've written you've written a book.
Yes.
You know, they say that if you want to hide something,
you put it in a book.
You put it in writing.
Yes.
So what is it you're hiding here, Afande Kasinje?
I am
in this book, Chosen. What are you hiding here?
I'm trying to hide my autobiography.
Okay.
This is memoirs of Hassan Kasinje, where he's born from, the life he lived when he was young, the schools he went to, up to university, up to the police, and up to the time I retired.
When did you write this book?
I actually started writing this book when we were locked. This
lockdown, 2020.
Lockdown in 2020. This was in March. I think March 18th, 2020. So that's when I started writing this book until its launch on 30th of July, 2022.
People write books for years and years. You've done it in 2 years.
2 years.
300, almost 400 pages.
Yes, 380.
Of content.
Yes, yes.
What is with this title, Chosen?
I trace it from the Bible. If you read Jeremiah chapter 1, verse 1 to 5, it states that before we were born, before we were formed in our mother's womb, God knew us. He exactly knew what kind of people he had, what kind of person he had created. And he put you here to subdue this world, make it even better than you found it. But the only thing you have to do is always to find out what did God create me for. Now, Chosen is a realization of that. What was my intent? Why was I created? And then I give an accountability of what I have done, what God was able to make me accomplish. So this is an accountability of my journey, of my life, of my service to country and people.
Can I have a copy?
Yes.
I am an ardent reader.
Yes, so you'll have a copy.
You are on a program, on a show where we are trying to sensitize ourselves, the consumer, everyone, about the menace of counterfeits.
Yes.
Choosing from getting a hint from your title here, Chosen, one might be tempted to think we were chosen to suffer this menace of counterfeits, which are literally everywhere. Is that something you think we should accept?
I don't think we should accept that. I don't think we should accept the nomenclature of we were chosen to suffer this or that. That is not what God created us for. And definitely we are in this world to make sure that we get the best use of this world. People are thinking every day people spend a lot of money coming up with products. They do scientific research to make sure that we get the best products. And most of these research is about our own life, okay? So that the product I'm going to use is not harmful to me. So they spend a lot of money trying to come up with what makes human beings, comfortable and develop. So we were not created by God to suffer, but we have people who have been doing this. Now, counterfeiting, therefore, comes
as not a chosen way of life.
It's not a chosen way of life.
Have derailed.
And intentionally these days. Intentional, because counterfeiting now, it's a crime. It is intentional. You cannot say I didn't know what I was doing. No, it is intentional, and that is something that we need to fight,
to deal with. So
yes.
Hopefully in this conversation with you,
yes.
we're going to get some perspectives from you as a dignified, retired police officer.
Yes.
Again, one of the things I have seen, I just found this on your desk here,
yes,
and it caught my eye, strategy for
community
policing.
Yes.
You were a commissioner for community policing.
I actually started as a desk officer for community policing when I was assistant superintendent in 1994.
You have a passion,
yes,
for community policing.
And actually one of the architects of community policing in this country.
And I am seeing here in the book, community policing is a philosophy and an organization strategy that promotes a new partnership between the people and their police.
Yes.
Community policing and the fight against counterfeits. You see a connection there?
Yeah.
Because the counterfeits are in the community.
Yeah.
And the police is saying, let's do community policing.
A very, very big connection, because I think everything we talk about counterfeit is a mindset. When people do something, maybe by mistake, you buy a product by mistake, and for some reason, you even another person tells you it does this and that, and by the time you realize, you have already formed your own mindset that this product is good, even when somebody comes and tells you it is not genuine. Now, like community policing, because community policing is that philosophy, is that partnership between the police, between the public and their police. And the end result is to make sure that there is a reduction of crime or prevention of crime.
So the connection. Do we become one? When you support community policing,
we become one.
Part of the police, you become part of the public.
Actually, community policing means the police become the community and the community become the police.
That's to prevent crime.
Yes,
because
prevent
here I'm
crime.
saying you are there to solve, community policing is to solve contemporary problems. Such as crime, drugs, fear. Counterfeiting
and
is
the
a
neighborhood
contemporary problem.
Yes.
Counterfeiting.
Yes.
And I'm sure even before you retired, you knew that we had a big problem there.
Yes.
Is the problem that community policing is allowing counterfeiting to thrive, or we are not using it properly?
Community policing and crime prevention you can never have something that applies every society, every community, and maybe the whole country. Okay? Community policing should be one where you identify community problems, mean problems of that community. Okay? And then sit together, police and the communities, the affected communities, to identify the problem and also lay down measures
to address the problem.
To negate the problem. Now, I think basically the problem why community policing may not be addressing the concerns, including these ones we are going to talk about, the counterfeit products and whatever, is failure for the two to sit down and say, this is what is in our communities. Officers, can we sit under a mango tree in Muyenga somewhere, or in Tinda, we sit and you understand what we go through within our communities, okay? And now, when you have understood what is going through, then you sit and say, okay, this is the problem, how do we sort it out? The measures must be laid down by the police and also by the communities. And even the means to achieve those measures must be known, and you begin to walk the talk. But what is there now is a concept which may be understood in the minds of people, but they work differently. They work as the police, and the communities work as the communities. At the end of the day, each one is accusing the other. Take this camera, take it to any of the communities, whether town, whether border community, whether taxi community, whether a school, whether a church or whatever, and you ask them the problems they are having and how they say, we inform the police, but the police don't do anything. Which means now there is no partnership that we're talking about. I think that has been the problem that we need to address. And that's why some of us are coming up with concepts of coffee with a cop and it's a community policing program.
It's an extension of community policing.
Yes, that is actually going to deal with what I'm talking about. Because we cannot talk about community policing without living it. You must live the concept. It must be
so coffee
tangible.
With a cup, you buy coffee for
coffee
people
with a cup
and
is
have coffee with them,
yes, you just go with for tea and whatever and sit with a community. It could be a border stage. So you just come there. The stakeholders could be KCCA, police, and some of the leaders. You come, and the police officers actually serve the coffee. So this coffee is not going to be like you go and dispense the coffee. No, the police officers are going to dispense the coffee to the border riders, for example. At the end of the day, this is an example that we've come to your level. We are one. We can share a cup of coffee. Can you imagine if a police officer served the coffee and members of the community say, no, we don't touch this coffee, we are not sure. That means there is no trust. There's no confidence, there's no mutual benefit.
So where is this coffee with a cup operating? It is something that is all over the country?
We are waiting for protocols to be finalized. We finalized everything, but I think there are some few things which the police are still, but we are going to start within Kampala Metropolitan Police area. Okay, that is Entebbe, Kampala, Mukono, Wakiso. So that we first deal with the urban setting, and then we can roll it out.
There is a lot of activity. As somebody who was in the police, do you get the sense that many one age, many ordinary people don't think that counterfeiting is a crime, is a serious issue? We were in parliament one time sensitizing them, and one MP was saying even China developed through counterfeits, reverse, you know that kind of thinking. We have spoken and our voices are getting hoarse that this is actually a crime, it is wrong. What is it you can tell the viewer to appreciate that this is part of the other crimes that we have on our books?
Yeah,
counterfeiting.
Indeed it is true, because fighting counterfeit you need everybody on board. Everybody should be a stakeholder. And I have been involved in counterfeiting, fighting counterfeiting when I was director of Interpol from 2011 to 2017. I was involved in many operations within Kampala. And I can tell you it is something that we live with, and people, because they have lived with it, they think it is the right way. We carried out operations, and you go to Chikubo, you go to Nkurumah Road, Nasa Road, and you get all these toners that are fake, and you see members of the public fighting against the police. They themselves, the consumers themselves, fighting the police. Police, why are you stopping
because
people from... They don't appreciate. So it is like you're fighting people. The government is fighting people. The government does not... Survival. You're fighting their survival. No, we have been using this product for quite a long time. What is your problem? These rings which go in the engine of a car, these are the ones we have been using.
We imported them.
We imported them. We paid taxes. Why are you telling us at this rate that they are fake? And where are you taking them? We have never seen you burn them or something like that. You take them and you sell them. You are the one selling them actually to us in return. So there is a lot of
perception issue,
trust issues, and then communicating with them so that they understand that at the end of the day, it is them to lose. Their life is in danger because of this counterfeit.
Afande, we need to take a break,
Yeah.
but when we return,
Yeah,
we should start on the sad note.
yeah.
We have lost so many people to motor accidents, to people going for events and dying, and community policing is there, and these things are happening.
Okay.
We're back with the second segment of your favorite show, The League of the Genuine Conversations, with me, your host, Fred Mwema. Afande, by the way, this is the only show on the planet where this subject of counterfeits is discussed exclusively. So you are part of an important discussion.
Yeah.
And being a year opener,
Yes.
of course, we're going to be taking what you're saying as part of our New Year message.
Oh, thank you so much.
From retired
I'm
assistant
And
inspector, yes, of police. But on a sad note, like I was saying, we have had a lot of unhappy events. We have had expressions of things that can take the form of counterfeiting or fakeness or whatever you'd like to call it, because a counterfeit is anything that is not genuine, anything that is not ethical, an imitation of what the correct thing should be. And coming on the heels of community policing that you've been talking about, we have law to regulate, for example, public gatherings, law to regulate our conduct on the roads and so on. But at the same time, we are losing lives in just 3 days, I think during the Christmas period. On one road, Masakambara Road, we lost more than 50 people.
Yeah, about 56.
About 56 people. During the Christmas break also, I'm told we've lost 9, 10 people now, Freedom City.
Freedom City, there were 10.
There were 10. But in all these things, the police as the custodian of law and order was present, the laws are there. How do you see Uganda police as a tool to fight these kind of events, to fight counterfeits, to fight this kind of vice in society?
Yeah, thank you so much for that question. First of all, I would like to convey my heartfelt sympathies and condolences to those who lost their lives, to the families, to friends of those who lost their relatives through accidents, because majorly all these were accidents. Before Christmas, before the festive season, I took to my Twitter handle and released several messages on accidents, traffic accidents. There's one where I put my own picture beside my vehicle when I was still a young officer. And then I also put a picture of my family. And I said I used to drive this vehicle going home. It is a taxi carrying people because I wanted to get some money from them for fuel. And then I would drive as if no other vehicle should pass me. And I said if I had not stopped, I wouldn't have had this family.
You would not raise the family?
I would not raise
even
this
you
family.
yourself, you would not have served
I would not be there. I would
society.
have gone a long time ago. So it all starts with us, first and foremost. It all starts with us as Ugandans. We must, yes, they can remind us about our responsibility, but the kind of accidents that we had were all human error. All of them. Either you're overspeeding, you're overloading, you're overtaking, dangerously from corners, all that kind of thing. But you're also right to say that there is something lacking in terms of a partnership that we need from the public and the law enforcement agencies, especially the police, to make sure that people are safe and secure. Yes, the laws are there. The Public Order Act is there, okay? Once we decide to engage, then we should not leave it on paper. You know what you are supposed to do. What am I saying? For example, the Freedom City death, they could have been avoided. I have seen where people inform the police that we are going to do this and this and this and this. And then the police writes back. This is the procedure, which I know very well. The police write back, and then they say that you are going to do this and this and this and such a place. Ensure that there is this on paper, and they sign and they give it to you.
But how is that enforced?
That's what I'm saying. Is that the responsibility, you know it, go and make sure you stick to what has been said. I think we can do better. Every station, every area in this Uganda falls under a police station. Okay? Once you write to the duty bearer, the station officer in charge of that station must also have a responsibility, number one, of checking, cross-checking, that each and every aspect of the obligations of the duty bearers are performed to perfection. By the way, you don't need to have a riroriro, okay? Because you got a letter to say that you go and have fireworks. Me, as an officer in charge, if at any time I realize that you are not following the instructions or what should be done, I can stop it. I have the powers to say no. Stop.
You have the powers, but
yes,
you have seen, I think some people took government to court to challenge the Public Order Management Act, I think Section 8, which says that you need permission from a police officer, and if he thinks otherwise, then the meeting will not take place, and so on. Violation of the freedom.
That one was challenged.
Yes, it was challenged.
There are some sections that were
Yes. So I'm just wondering, do you think the problem is the law or its enforcement?
The problem is enforcement. Let me tell you. Every one of those events, okay, should have an exercise to prepare for the event. You understand what I'm saying? We have a huge event, Chameleon or Baby Cool or whoever wants to go to Rugogo to have, like these days, they have huge numbers and people go in huge numbers, but they don't go through the drills, safety and security drills
before the event.
Yeah, you begin to you make a simulation. Supposing this happens, supposing there is a fire, where do you tell people to go and congregate? How are people coming in? Who is regulating them? Who is sitting them? Who is going?
But that is the work of the police. So if there is a failure to do a simulation,
yes,
and a drill,
yes,
that is the problem of the police.
Yes, that's why I'm saying that even the duty bearer, who is the promoter or whoever, the organizer, should also be interested, should actually ask the police and say, for me, I'm a promoter. I saw Abitex, is he called Abitex?
Yes.
I saw Abitex, you were saying, me, I'm not a police officer, I am not the one supposed to do this and this. He's right, but even you as a duty bearer, you are supposed to go to the OC and say, OC, look, what should we expect on such and such a day? Let me give an example. If somebody had done that simulation exercise, okay, the drill exercise, you would have seen that supposing the MC says, all of you go down, you are going to see the fireworks. Fireworks are seen at exactly midnight. If anybody misses even by 1 point, it means he's going to lose a lot. Now,
So there is pressure.
If you have 1,000 people in this room, and that is the door allows like 5 people to go at a go. And you say, you go out and watch
fireworks.
What do you expect? So even the MC, he's good at being an MC, but he didn't go through the safety and safety regulations to know what should be done at a particular point. For example, they could have started and say, we are going to start going out, but we shall take 30 minutes. People go slowly because we don't want this. Wouldn't have had a problem. So all these issues that we're talking about, yes, the laws are there. The problem is how we work together through that partnership you talked about to make sure that we are safe and secure.
But Afande, don't you think that we have developed a counterfeit culture among us? You've seen a study by UMB saying most of the products on the market are fake, meaning we are consuming, we generally like fakeness. We don't want to observe law. We don't want to be regulated. You think that there is a cultural base that is promoting some of these things as a people?
Yeah.
The culture of counterfeiting has permeated our system.
Yes, and there are very many. We could see it even the whole day we talk about this subject. For me, I think there are so many reasons as to why this has permeated our society. It is consistent, by the way, and it is becoming bigger and bigger. Okay? I told you how people sit and come up with these products. It takes a lot of time for somebody to think through a product. For me, to use a lotion on my body, this lotion I have put on my body, people have carried out thousands of experiments to make sure that this lotion is safe for my use. It is not going to change anything. But you hear people on radios advertising for a product that you come, within 1 week, you will have changed your color. Within 1 week, you have put on balms. Who puts on balms in 1 week? You know that
even God didn't do it.
No, my friend.
So where does
it
this
is played?
culture come
It is
from?
played on radios and whatever. So sincerely, the different stages that we go through, people must be oblivious of the repercussions that come out of it. What is our responsibility? Every other stage that you go through, you know, there are gaps that lead to this. We must interrogate these gaps for us.
But talk of investigation.
Yes.
You've seen this case of Freedom City. The investigation might come to nothing.
Yeah, I know.
You've seen the cases, 55 people died in Massacre Road. The investigations will not even tell us whether the problem was the fake tires, whether it was brakes, whether it is very superficial. We are very good for instant news. These people
like
died and then we never follow up.
Yeah, like saying it was human error, and then we have not gone ahead to look at the tires, at the tires.
Police.
Are these real tires in our market? Do we have fake tires? And actually fake tires are here. They are in this market. And investigate other things. I agree with you. All these are gaps. All these are gaps as to why.
But my question is, why do we lose people, for example, on the road? The road carnage, we are calling it road accidents. If you say human error, then to what extent is that an accident? Because if somebody decides to overtake in a sharp corner, he didn't do it by accident. He intentionally said, I can overtake. So I would like to call them road crashes, not road accidents. Because the human being has intentionally done this thing. Now, I am thinking that we need to have a behavior change campaign to put us back in line. Because we do a lot of the talking, but in terms of action, how we act in our daily lives, they say charity begins at home.
Yes.
We are not doing enough.
Council, I agree with you, because we all agree, me and you, that our laws are there. We have different laws, and our laws are perfect. We have not been, save for few where it is challenged here and here, we've not had people, legal minds like you, coming up and saying, you see why we are dying? It is because this law is wrong. We haven't had this, and we don't need
when you kill somebody on the road, the law, Traffic and Road Safety Act, says 10 years in imprisonment.
Yes.
We have lost maybe 3,000 people
yes,
this year.
Yes.
Do we have 3,000 people imprisoned for 10 years? Maybe none.
I also agree with you that we need to deal with the mindset, okay? And I think many countries where you have reduced or limited number of deaths and crashes and whatever, people don't need to be policed. Do you know why roadblocks were removed and put again? Because we need to be policed. If you drive on a Ugandan road and then if you go in public transport, even if you are not in public transport, you are in your own vehicle, you will see public transporters informing the others, warning the other public transporters that the police is either behind, or they are 2 or they are 3, or there is a big officer here. You see, you see them warning them. Now that tells you, and all of us who are seated in the bus or whatever, we keep quiet. Now that should tell you that's how we die. We die because another bus has informed this bus where you are seated that everything is okay. Once they do this, everything is okay.
So you speed.
So you speed. That's how we die. Countries, for example, environmental protection, where you don't need to see a police officer to get this Kavera and you dump it anywhere. Go to Kigali, go to any of some of these serious cities that we have gone to, okay? But here, you will see people do anything they want. So the problem is not the laws, it is our mindset. And I believe that we need now to have people realize that not every product that you see is a good product.
We need to sensitize them.
We need to sensitize.
Let's take a break. We come to the third segment. We're back with the third and last segment of this interesting conversation here with the Afande Kasinje. Afande, you are one of the more popular police officers in this country. You have a very busy Twitter handle. I think you're about to reach 1 million followers and so on. What do you do with all these
700,000.
700,000.
They are going to be 700,000. Yeah, it's
the
the grace
chosen one.
It's the grace of God.
And you are also an ardent sports fan.
Yes.
I know I was your president in Villa.
Yes, you are my president.
But you made the mistake to support Arsenal. Okay, it's your choice. You're on the table now.
Yes.
And then you supported Argentina. I lost on the finals.
Yes, I supported Argentina
in the World Cup. But even in this leisure and entertainment sector, we still have counterfeits.
Yes.
We have a lot of counterfeit merchandising in sports. And I know at one time you were in charge of Uganda Police
Football Club.
Club. Did you encounter any?
Yes, I did. I actually, the last consignment of the jersey that my club put on for 2021-2022 season was actually a counterfeit.
If FOFA hears that, they might
no
disqualify you.
No. You remember, I got a jersey that was actually for Real Madrid. But the only thing is that there was no logo for Real Madrid. Anyway, the quality is not what we had ordered. The quality. Okay? By the time this consignment reached the airport, we are left with about 3 days to play. FUFA is saying we should have taken our jersey and that kind of thing. So we just gave in.
So if
on a very pirated thing.
Somebody listening to you now with the position of authority that you have and so on, if you can be a victim of counterfeiting, who cannot be a victim? Is this a war we cannot win?
No, it is a war we can win. It is a war where we learn from mistakes and every time improve. For example, now I'm not there. I went back to Villa, as you know. The club must now be able to begin procurement well in time. Okay. Number two, to have people you can rely upon that provide you with the jerseys in time. Not only jerseys, we buy football, we buy balls,
and other kits.
Yes, and other kits from shops here. But you just go and find fake product. You buy a ball, you use it for something like in training, 2 days, 3 days.
Scores one goal and it's done.
It's
but
done.
Hassan, you're
so
very active. You're very active on social media. You must be having plots there. You live on social media.
Yeah.
And social media is one of those vehicles that bring counterfeits to us. You order for something from a platform, you pay, what is delivered is different. To what extent is social media, online sales, promoting counterfeiting in your view?
They are. One time I ordered shoes, I showed this lady, I want this type of shoe. So she said, yeah, it is so much.
Online, the vendor was not visible.
No, online, I saw online.
Okay.
And then, for me, I use the other way around. If I want something, then I call somebody and say, I want this. Where can you get it? I don't tell somebody who is not visible. And then she went and brought me something different. For me, I'm lucky that it was brought to me and I said, no, I'm not going to pay for it. But on social media, there are so many products that have been ordered and they are fake. They are not the products you ordered for, and it is not worth the kind of money you have paid. So yes, social media, technology, can deliver
the fakes to the market.
The fakes. Yet we can also use social media to get the real products if you know how to use it. So I
what
think
do you think should be done? Should it be the brands doing more here to ensure that maybe they can monitor the online sales of products that are said to be theirs and sniff out the fakes? Because this is done in open sight. It's hidden in plain sight. Somebody is saying, I'm selling a Nike. Nike is active on that very handle, and it allows the sale to go on. Or are we asking too much from the brands?
We can use social media to do two things. Number one, before you order, before you do anything, you need to find out more. I think there is this. I think we are lethargic or something like that. You see something, you order immediately. And then you get a problem. But we are supposed to be cross-checking. Is what I am ordering the right product? We can use social media to fight these people. You know, one post like this, it is going to kill the business of someone. So social media is a very, very powerful tool to make sure that we get what we want, but it's also a very powerful tool to fight counterfeits.
But do you think brands are doing enough to expose the fake versions or to expose those who are faking their products? Because the problem is many brands don't want to show that their product has a counterfeit problem. They think that consumers will run away. Is that a view you share? Or is it the other way around? That if I am a brand and I show that I care about you, I can fight these fakes, I want you to be safe, show you what the genuine is, help you to differentiate.
I would go with the second one. I don't know which year, could be 2012, 2013. BAT organized some stakeholders for a conference that took place in Cape Town. And one of the things we did was to understand, as a police officer, to differentiate a counterfeit cigarette from a real supermarket cigarette. What are the things that I must look at? Even by touching it as a police officer, I can tell. Why should brands not be able to tell us, to differentiate fakes from their real product? Because sometimes we don't go, because yes, Ugandans go and purchase this because they are cheaper. Probably 70% of Ugandans buy something because it is cheaper. They don't care whether it is fake or whatever. But there are people who want genuine products. Okay? I care very much about the watch I put on or the shoe I put on. To me, these are something personal to me. So I would want to pay any money
to get the
genuine,
But the problem, Hassan, is that technology
but
has
help
advanced.
me to understand, yes.
Technology has advanced so much that it enables the counterfeiter to also do a very beautiful fake product.
Yes, and that's
which
what
you may not be able to differentiate.
Exactly, Council. That's why I would wish that the brands, the brand owners, should also, because they have their research department, okay? The research department of the brands should be able to identify very quickly a product that is coming and it is being imitated to be that product, okay? And then they should be able to tell us in time that this is a fake product. I told you about toners, and if we didn't go work with the companies that
the
were
cartridges and toners,
the cartridges and toners, wouldn't have known which one is fake, which one is not fake. So even police officers, even law enforcement officers, including customs officials, they need to go through this kind of training, especially by the brand. So I am calling for a partnership between brands and the law enforcement agencies and then the public, so that they are told.
Especially you with 1 million followers.
Yes,
you don't want followers who are counterfeiters.
No, I don't want them. But I would be the first one to go on my social media handle and say, folks, look here, this is fake. Do not go for it.
I'm believing after this, the next post should be about let us consume genuine.
Yes, but I would wish to be part of that effort to make sure that Ugandans live longer.
We have identified some drivers here. I discussed them with you,
yes,
Dankani.
Yes,
drivers of counterfeiting. Which of those, according to you, is the big elephant in the room? Which is causing the most problems?
Affordability. In Uganda,
poverty is a reason to consume counterfeit.
Yes, yes.
Is a justification?
Yes, it plays a bigger percentage for Ugandans to purchase something because you can be able to afford it.
If I gave you a capsule, 500 shillings to treat certain ailment, but I tell you that it will damage your liver. And there's another capsule of 5,000 shillings. It will treat you, but no side effect on your liver. Which one would you go for?
Of course, I would go for the one which has no side effect. But the problem here in Uganda, you go to a pharmacy, they don't tell you it is going to damage your liver.
So concealed
they
danger.
Always say, this is Germany, this is India. This is 500, this is 5,000. So which one should I give you?
So you're saying that if we know the concealed dangers of the counterfeit,
exactly,
price will not be an issue?
No. Price would not be an issue because people would know the dangers of that.
Why I have this argument, I have a problem with this poverty argument. In 1990, our gross domestic product was only $4 billion. 2021, it was more than $40 billion, meaning we are more wealthy as a country. But in 1990, we didn't have the level of counterfeiting, fakes on the market. When we were poorer, we didn't have a high consumption of counterfeit. The way we consume them when we are richer, meaning that it may not necessarily be true that affordability is a bigger driver than concealed danger.
I think it is a bigger driver, but of course, if others would play in with the example you have given, the concealed danger, you may not understand. You may have the money, but you may not understand the concealed danger. Negligence, sometimes, yes. So it is true that we may be not poorer as we used to be. I grew up, I started school in 1970s, okay? And in 1970s, recently in social media, they bring those products, those brands. This is the Coca-Cola of 1972. Yes. This is the Aspro. It was called Aspro, yes, I think for the cough. And then Everready batteries.
The batteries,
There
yes.
was no
Counterfeit,
fake.
yes.
There was
but
no
today,
fake.
Tiger Head,
But
everything
is a counterfeit. So, yes, affordability is one of them. But I want also to think that intentionally people, should I call it being selfish? People want to make a lot of money in order to enrich yourself at the expense of others. This book, Chosen, I was given about 5 covers. I found that this cover is this cover is this. Look at this cover. I paid a lot of money, but let somebody have something that is going to last in his bookstore, in his bookshelf for 10 years,
But
for
that
20
can
years.
also be faked.
Yeah, it
Somebody
can be faked, but you insist in what you want. The wrapping, a lot of things that go in this. So I want to agree that there are many people who want to be more rich at the expense of human beings.
Of welfare and well-being.
Yes,
but
on
let's
medicine,
talk a bit about
on whatever.
Let's talk a bit about corruption. Year after year, 2 institutions take the World Cup of corruption in Uganda.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you know them.
I know.
One is you, one is me.
Yes.
The police and the judiciary.
The last one actually hurt me. They didn't say the police, and then they went to another one. But they said the first one is general police. The second one is traffic. Police. The third one is CID. But you are talking about one.
You are a champion, but you take the first
But
three
even
slots.
if there was the fourth, they would also have picked some other police and that kind of thing. For me, it really hurt me. Yeah.
Since the police and the judiciary and the courts are very, very important in fighting counterfeits, and then they are corrupt, can you have a corrupt police, a corrupt judiciary fighting an act of corruption like counterfeiting?
That is one of the challenges of fighting counterfeits in the country. Because most of the counterfeits pass through legal channels, the borders, through clearing, customs and many other measures. And once we choose to have money in our pockets at the expense of the consumer, then we are going to have a problem. We are not going to stop this counterfeiting going on. So I don't know whether we need more training. I don't know what we need.
Some aggressive training first for police. We've done some trainings for the agriculture police last month.
Yes.
I was training some of them. We've trained the magistrates,
I bought something called a weed master. And we sprayed. We sprayed for this weed that grows in the yes, but didn't work.
And so your harvest was affected.
Yes.
So do you say, and this is something you're going to say on your Twitter space or handle, do you say that sensitization is key? And maybe we start with police and
sensitization is key. We need to sensitize as many people as possible. The methods of sensitization must be right. Okay? Okay? For example, what do you take on radio? You want to target the people in the central region, and you take your advert or whatever on CBS. And CBS, just because they want money, you give them money. The people are going to take it that what goes on CBS
is legit.
Is legit. Okay.
And a lot of facts are being promoted.
Yes. Radio Yobujaja. And here, somebody is advertising that he can treat this diabetes you with something. A product has not been verified by the medical, those professions. And you find people taking these concoctions as if they are Yes, these concoctions, they are taking them. And people, after some time, they lose their life. The medium, they need to be sensitized. Everything that goes out as we sensitize the people must be legit, and I think that is the one
As
way.
I'm told it's time up, but
okay.
I must ask you one last question.
Yes.
I know that you're very, very passionate about gender-based violence. Any connection between gender-based violence and counterfeiting?
Let me face the camera. There is a strong connection between gender-based violence and counterfeiting. We have dealt with these cases, and most of the reasons why we have gender-based violence is because the duty bearer in a home, that's the man, cannot provide, most of the time is not providing. Is under pressure for the basic needs of that home. It could be education, it could be health, it could be food, it could be clothing. You have not bought Christmas garments for me, and people are fighting.
I want a Gucci.
Yes. Now, because this head of the family has to go and provide these, but with limited resources, he is going to go out and get fake products and bring them into your home. So I think we also need to understand this within homes, okay? And be able to tell our spouses and agree that I do not have enough means to do what we want. But gender-based violence and domestic violence in homes is actually one of the triggers, one of the drivers for counterfeiting within our homes. I can tell you that, and people can find out that what I'm saying.
Well said. Your New Year message to the viewers and your followers.
My New Year message is that I tweeted this yesterday, and I said I'm not going to listen to those people who are saying, "How is the year treating you?" No, that one I'm not going to accept. I'm going to treat this year, which means that we make our own choices. Whatever we go through in this year, it is from our own choices. We make our own choices. And these choices must be informed choices. We're talking about counterfeit products. Can we be informed about the products that we take in our homes? These are simple things. It could be lotions. It could be the medicine that you buy. It could be the saucepans that you buy.
Yes.
There are those saucepans, I understand, that you keep on using them, but there is some chemicals that go in your body. We can all choose that the products that we use are not harmful to our bodies. We can choose to speak out that this product did this and this and this and this. But also the bearers, the duty bearers, should come up and tell us that this product is harmful to your body and it should be gotten out of the market, even if it means a lot of money. Cancers, the asbestos sheets. There are people who still have asbestos sheets. We can get rid of them, okay? So my New Year message is that let's be safe, let's be secure. Mind about what you take in your body, mind about where you go, mind about how you associate, mind about what you buy, and we can live longer as long as we all do
That
what
was
we want.
Afande Hassan Kasinje, retired Assistant Inspector General of Police,
Yes.
Uganda Police.
Yes.
Very happy to have had you.
Thank you.
Thank you for the interview. We have been able to learn a lot. I'm sure the viewers have also been able to learn a lot. We, as always, have this program every Friday. You can be able to catch us 8 p.m. We are going to continue in the new year to talk about the important subject of counterfeits. Remember, if you like what we are doing, you can share, you can subscribe, you can put that notification bell so that you know when the next League of the Genuine Conversation is going to be. We shall continue next time. Until then, don't be fake, buy and sell genuine.